And there you are.
Oh my goodness, better late than never. Guys, welcome to New at Sideshow Live.
It was me. Sorry.
I'm better at figuring out which side these things go on.
Up is easy.
Yes.
Up and over the left shoulder. It's never the one you think. Welcome. Good morning. This is New at Sideshow Live every 9 a.m. or a couple minutes, give or take, 9 a.m. Pacific time, where we are your one-stop shop for pop culture news, updates, everything that's going on at sideshow.com. Thank you guys for stopping in. We got a lot of good mornings in the chat. I am joined by three fantabulous moderators and or hosts. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. Hi, I'm Rob. You know me from this show.
Hi, I'm Robin. I was the one that made us late this morning. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Missy. I like Iron Man.
That is accurate.
Say, Rob, don't sell yourself short. They know you from this and other shows.
Yes.
And maybe other shows.
You may see me as I played a doctor on TV.
Hi, I'm Troy McClure. And I'm Amy. I'm going to do my best to keep it on the rails. But, we're already getting off to a great start here. But we do have an agenda, despite all the signs to the contrary. Rob, can we pull that up real quick? A nice visual aid. Always helps to have some pretty pictures. So first up, we're going to be going on what's going on today at Sideshow. Any other live streams, any other cool events besides this one? I mean, you guys are already here, so that is the first step. Then we've got now at sideshow.com some cool in-stock or upcoming items that we think you want to see, plus a deal of the day. Can't miss that. Then we're going to go to one of our favorite segments, of course, the collector community, where we feature some of your submissions for photos of your collections. And we'll also explain to you how you can submit for a chance to be featured. Then we've got the pop culture headlines, which Sideshow produces every single day. We've got a couple of teases for you from our latest pop culture headlines, but if you want the full thing, you'll have to check out the actual podcast. Then, of course, we have the From the Blog segment. I'm not going to do the scary voice because it's not that scary. Reading is fun and very informative. So we've got some
Reading is fun.
My mom was a librarian. I gotta plug that one. But reading is fun and informative, and so we'll give you a little bit of a taste of what's on the blog for you to check out. And then, of course, we wrap it up with this week in streaming. We've got a week that straddles the end and beginning of the month. So we'll take a look at what's dropping on all of the streaming platforms for you guys, so you can plan your watch schedules accordingly. All right. So without further ado, Rob, why don't you take us into what's going on today at Sideshow?
Absolutely. Well, we are not the only show today. So
No.
Nope. We have another show that'll be on at 10 a.m. Pacific on all of Sideshow's official YouTube, Facebook channels, and that is the Unsealed and Revealed, featuring the Harley Quinn 6 scale.
Ooh, I like that one.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's going to be a really cool figure, so it'll be cool to see what Terry and Guy come up with posing-wise, and for fans of the show, I'm curious to see what the tread is on Harley Quinn. So keep an eye out for Tread Watch. And yeah, that's on at 10 a.m. Pacific. So pretty much right after we're done here, you can stick around and watch Unsealed and Revealed.
Are you seeing other shows besides us?
How dare you watch other shows? That's the only other stream, but we do have some giveaways going on today that have been going on for the past week or so. But first up, we have the Mystique Fine Art print by Darren Tan. This one's on our site, running until July 2nd at 10 a.m. Pacific, and you can find that at side.show/raven. And then next up, we have the Batman Beyond number 37 Fine Art print by Francis Manapool. This is on our site, also running until July 2nd at 10 a.m. Pacific. You can find that at side.show/bats to the future. And
nice. That's the first time I've seen that short link.
You can tell because we all bust out laughing.
I really love the colors in this print, though.
Oh yeah, I mean, Manipul also did a flash. We did a flash fine art print with him, but those ones that are comic book variants that you can now own on your wall are like exceptionally fun, especially if you display them with the comic book.
And then with the PF too, just saying.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
there is a Batman Beyond PF.
Brand synergy.
Yep. All coming together. And then the last giveaway we have running right now is the Thor 6 scale. the newsletter giveaway going until June 30th at 10 a.m. Pacific. Sideshow.
I was pointing to Amy, but you
newsworthy.
got my entire
sorry.
head covered here. But you should see every time this graphic pops up, Amy's smile is like, whoa.
It's Thor.
Well, this is my last time on the show with him, because when I'm back on Thursday, it's going to be a new month, and I'm expecting great things, Rob.
No pressure. No pressure. But yep. So that one runs until tomorrow at 10 a.m. And
Sweet Prince.
you'll be missed, sir. And that's what's happening today at Sideshow.
All right. Up next, we've got some stuff that's going on the website specifically, including some really cool products. Missy, you want to tell us a little bit about what's now at sideshow.com?
Now it's Sideshow. Gotta try something different each time.
Missy brings her own songs.
All right, so first up, we're going to start out with cute this morning because we have the Triss Marigold Nendoroid collectible figure by Good Smile Company. And I'm sorry, but look how freaking adorable she is. She's adorable in the game, and then they made her just tiny and chibi and lovely. So from the globally acclaimed open world RPG of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which somebody still hasn't finished, comes a Nendoroid of Geralt's companion and powerful sorceress Triss Marigold. This is fully articulated, allowing you to easily pose her in combat scenes, and she comes with both a standard faceplate as well as a smiling one. Optional parts include a book, fire effect parts for showing off her powerful magic, as well as a Gwent card for her to join in a round of cards. That's got to be the tiniest, cutest little accessory ever. I still haven't learned how to play that correctly, but one day I will.
That became my Witcher experience.
Yeah. A lot of people, and I was like, I have to do everything else, and then I'll go back and learn the game. But you can find her at side.show/tinycaster.
Hold me closer, Tiny Caster.
Oh.
Yesterday turned into so many
Brianna knows what
70s
we're talking
songs.
about. Sorry, she's in the chat.
Oh, but her little flaming book there, I love it so much. And the way that you take the little Nendoroids apart is a little disconcerting. You take off the hair, remove the face, put the other face on, but it's completely worth it to have more than one figure.
Kirby is, because I have a Kirby Nendoroid, and he's a ball. You have to unscrew the face, and it comes out in like two halves.
No.
So weird. So weird, but I love it. I love the result.
That's all that matters. And oh dear. All right, next up, we're going to go from teeny tiny to super large because we are going to talk about the Spider-Man quarter scale figure by Hot Toys, which no, not allowed. Following a series of events in Captain America: Civil War, Peter Parker struggles in returning to his routine life as a high schooler until the Vulture's arrival gives him the chance to prove himself as a web-slinging superhero. Inspired by Marvel Studios' Spider-Man Homecoming, Sideshow and Hot Toys proudly present the latest quarter-scale Spider-Man collectible figure with excellent craftsmanship. I got my first quarter-scale figure over the weekend, and now I'm like, well, this is unfortunate because bigger is better.
You're hooked.
Yeah, and this is available at side.show/wallcrawler.
Yeah, and we do have another image from this one because the Sideshow, there's an exclusive that has a little hologram. So you get that cool little, the Sideshow exclusive comes with that one too.
I think my favorite part of the quarter scales, and we do have the Mando Grogu on pre-order, the quarter scale, because he said we're doing one Mando and that's it. And so bigger, you know, if you're going to do one, the bases are so detailed and so cool. And it makes it, you know, almost if you're not ready to commit to like a full-on statue yet, I mean, it's pretty close.
It is
and
a big
posable.
commitment.
Yeah, a lot of room. Mm-hmm. All right. Next up, we're going to go to a world that I know Amy loves, and I believe Rob as well. No.
The other one. The other thing I love.
The other stuff. We are going to go to the Clouth statue by PCS. Yeah. Good reaction.
Oh,
PCS
nice.
Collectibles is proud to present the Clouth statue. Clouth is one of the largest and most fearsome red dragons ever known in Faerun?
Faerun.
Okay, Faerun. Huge but graceful, he's as supple as a cat. His body is covered in old, wicked-looking scars where scales have been torn away and never grown back. He brutally attacks other dragons, seeking to slay any worm that might rival him in power, in a fighting style marked by sudden attacks and just as sudden disappearances. He is so cool.
I wouldn't describe him as a cat, but sure. I mean, like Toothless, when people are like, oh, like Toothless reminds me of my cat. It's like, yeah, that's cute. Clouth and the evil dragons of Dungeons and Dragons. That's a
No.
But
I don't know. I don't want to know what cat's
quickly,
here.
then I get it, because I think my cat heads into a pocket dimension because she'll be there and then she's not.
Kind of hard
love
to lose
this.
track of a guy the size of a city, though.
Yeah. But you know where you can find him? It's Sideshow/Party Killer.
Oh no. Oh no.
I love it.
TPK.
Yep.
Total
I
party
love it.
kill.
That is such an
Right there.
incredible, like, I don't play D&D yet. I mean, it could happen.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
Right? But
Yes.
in this house, we do very much so enjoy dragons. So even if you're not completely into the D&D scene, how cool is that piece?
And it's huge too. For the price, you get a lot of statue with this
It's a
thing.
lot of dragon.
It's a lot of dragon.
The metric on that.
Yeah.
Pretty
The
good.
dragon. Yeah. And I talked about this with Matt a while ago, and he's like, you should buy this and then use it for your D&D game. Just put it at the edge of the map. I'm like,
Yeah, you're like, hey guys, miniatures? No, we're playing. That's a max
big.
miniature.
Oh,
Okay.
if
They-
you do
they
that,
are-
I want video. It's like,
They are
this is mine.
They are making maxi minis, like, but like, I don't know the height on this guy, but I'm sure it dwarfs. They're making like a Tiamat maxi who's like a foot tall, but that's like $400. So like, just buy this guy, and you've got. I mean, your players are SOL.
You have the ruler
Yeah.
of your
Yeah.
board, your world, your everything.
Slide this onto the map and just.
Hey, this happened. Everyone's dead.
roll initiative if you dare. Yeah, that thing is 24 inches tall. That's 2
Oh, yeah.
feet
Wow.
tall.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Huge.
But we have one more thing today, and that is our featured deal of the day. Deal of the day.
Nice.
I hope to not say this wrong. This is the Hanyaku Karakuri C3PO collectible figure by Bandai. He is
Oh, wow.
precious. Oh my goodness. This C3PO collectible figure is sculpted by the legendary Takayuki Takea. This totally original take on the classic Star Wars droid re-envisions C3PO as a clockwork-driven translation automaton. This is the droid you are looking for. Add this to your collection of Star Wars figure today. He is normally $90, but he is currently 10% off with code HanyakuC3PO, and he has free US shipping. I love his fan. I think the most out of everything there. And he can be found at side.show/goldbot.
Oh,
These things are so much fun. I have the Django Fett from this line. They're just fun to play with and pose around. There's so many cool details, and they're really articulated.
He looks so sassy.
I love it. I know he reminds me kind of like a Japanese theater actor, like in the very
In the
overblown.
costume, but it's the
expression.
pose. Like, it's wonderful.
I love it. Love it. All right. Well, that does it for what's going on at sideshow.com. Hope you guys found something that you enjoyed, maybe something new for your collection. And speaking of collections and your collections specifically, Robin, why don't you take it away with the collector community?
Yay, collector community. This is me. This is me. Well, we love to brag about our community members by sharing their creative pictures of their collections, specific collectibles, or perhaps like outrageous displays for their collectibles. We have lots of platforms where we share those pictures from our community members. We have Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, our Facebook group, Let Your Geek Side Show, directly on our site, our YouTube shows like this one, and TikTok. If you haven't submitted any pictures from your collection, please do so. And you can go to side.show/how-to-share. And that's, yeah, I got it.
Got it.
Nailed it.
First try.
That'll be flashing on the bottom. We love to brag on our collectors. So please, please, please share the pictures because we have live shows every day. We got tons of areas to brag about you and your collection and your items. So you got to send them to us first. And Rob here is the one that he's the one with a tough job because he's got to weed through all the pictures and narrow it down to only a few. And he's done that today. So we have most of our pictures have been submitted on our Instagram platform. And we have the first picture up, Rob, is Soundwave. And that was submitted by Erie Vision Z Collectibles. And that's really spelled oddly. So hopefully we can put that on the scroll at the bottom.
I love that he's got, what is that? Is it Ravage? Is the dog?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Coming right out of him like that. Those three.
And he's like, attack.
Yep.
Just like,
and I like that this picture isn't like overly saturated. Like I know a lot of so many characters are super colorful, but I think that lends it to the realism of the Transformer that he's a little bit gritty.
And the next one that Rob has selected, brace yourself, Amy. It's Thor, Breaker of Brimstone.
Oh.
And that's submitted by Andy Tan WH on our Instagram channel. And this is
and that's the exclusive.
I love the upshot because you feel like you're about to just get your head crushed in.
If this were the last thing I ever saw, I'd be fine.
And again, thank you, Andy Tan, who submitted Thor Breaker of Brimstone for our Instagram channel. The last one that Rob has selected, this is a well-rounded group today, is Grogu. And that was submitted by Invader Moz at Instagram.
Yeah,
very cute, but I love
floating.
I love the lighting and just the highlight off the ball. So you're like, wait, what is that? It's like, oh, he's levitating that. That's pretty cool.
Oh,
so once again, thank you. Thank you to the 3 collectors that submitted the pictures. That were selected for their submissions. And we got tons of people that are submitting pictures. Please keep doing so, and we're going to try and feature as many people as we can across our channels. So we do appreciate it, and you guys are creative as it's just unbelievable. The amount of creativity that our collectors have in lighting. Some people make sets, some people create their own displays. So we really enjoy bragging about you guys. So please continue to submit those pictures.
It's been inspiring me because I've recently received the Mondo Rick and Morty statue, and I actually ended up getting a picture on my computer monitor, getting it all set up, and then posing it right in front of a portal and taking a picture. I'm like, so seeing what everyone else is doing is inspiring me to actually start not being lazy anymore and doing something with all these toys.
Wow. I look at some of these galleries and I said, oh man, I gotta up my game. I'm lame.
All creative inspiration.
Right. And that's what we got from the collector community.
All right. We hope to see your photos up there sometime soon. Now we're at the halfway point in our show, so let's get a quick refresher on that graphic, see what ground we've already covered. It's nice to be nostalgic, but we are moving forward. So we've done today's live streams. We've done the deal of the day and the featured items. We just did the collector community. So now we're going to hop over into the greater world of pop culture, and greater as in larger, not necessarily better than anything that we've already covered. But first up, we'll have our pop culture headlines delivered by Rob. Then Missy's going to take us through the blog. And of course, Robin's going to round out the show with This Week in Streaming. All right, let's get right to it.
Pop culture headlines here.
Woo-hoo!
Just in. All right. According to Collider, Ron Perlman has been cast as Optimus Primal in the upcoming Transformers Rise of the Beasts. That to me is perfect casting. to hear Ron Perlman's voice in an Optimus Primal, I'm there for it. I'm here for it. So, Transformers Rise of the Machines, it looks to hit the theaters June 24th, 2022. So a bit of a wait, but that sounds like a fine first step in the casting announcements.
Starting off strong.
Yeah, for real. Next up, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 has officially wrapped production. Director Jeff Fowler announced the news on Twitter, sharing a picture of the crew in Hawaii with the beautiful sunset reflecting in the water below. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 will be in theaters April 8th, 2022. So now we're starting to get all the 22 movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's sooner than I expected.
They seem to turn that around pretty quick.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the first one, but I've heard it was way better than anyone expected it to be.
I really enjoyed it because we watched it. We streamed it with one of our friends is like the biggest Sonic the Hedgehog fan I've ever known. So we all just streamed it on a whim. But like for a video game movie, it was really solid. I mean, I know video game movies get a bad rap, but like Sonic and Detective Pikachu both, I was like, wow, this was way better than I was honestly expecting.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing about it. And
Jim Carrey as Eggman was, or Dr. Robotnik, I'm sorry. Oh my God, just inspired cast.
I actually enjoyed Sonic over Pikachu, but
okay, well.
There you go. Now there's problems.
Pikachu's my homeboy, but like there's enough love in this house for multiple electric rodents. Even though I know Sonic's not technically electric, but
It's okay.
we're not getting into it.
Super quick.
But also, good for them for going, you know what? Sonic needs to go to Hawaii.
We need to film this on location in Hawaii. It's the only thing that makes sense.
There was a lot of greenery in the games.
Yeah.
Tons of
There you
trees
go.
and all
Rolling
the
Hills
backgrounds.
Zone, just running down Mount Haleakala.
Yep. We need to go on location for this one. So,
I would.
well, and that's what we have from the pop culture headlines. Again, like Amy said, just a taste of what we have as the full pop culture headlines. If you'd like to hear more, delivered to you 365 days a year, holidays, weekends, doesn't matter, can't be stopped.
Even on your birthday?
Even on your yeah.
Wow.
All of the birthdays, really.
Everyone. So just go to side.show/pop podcast. That's side.show/popodcast.
you did it.
Just in case the Pop OD is in the chats. You can send him a little love there.
Shout out to Pop OD.
Good stuff.
All right. So up next, we've got the blog. Missy, what's going on over there?
Lots of stuff. Yeah. From the blog has not been scary yet this week. So it's all been happy and chipper. It depends on, some of the content. But right now, everything is super happy in here. First off, we are going to talk about the Pride Month comic book roundup. This past June, DC Comics and Marvel Comics released their first ever Pride issues. These anthologies amplify the stories of LGBTQ plus heroes we already know, plus a few who might be new to your gaydar. Each anthology has been assembled by teams of creators who also represent various parts of the LGBTQ plus community. You can also find them featured on the June 9th Comics Haul and June 23rd Comics Haul episodes of Sideshow's comic book podcast series, The Comics Haul with Amy and Paul.
That's
Outside of the realm of the
right over there.
super. Well, she is. I know her.
I read those books.
The 8 remaining titles included here contain equally empowering stories of community self-discovery and queer joy worthy of a spot on your reading list. Read on for the Pride Month comic book roundup at side.show/proudly presents.
Aw.
That is fantabulous.
And that was our new assistant copy editor who put this blog together. He wanted to cover some comics. The Wicked and Divine is on there, which is a Comics Hall favorite overall. But there's some really great graphic novels and series that you might not have heard of before that are just great because we've got one more Wednesday in Pride Month. So if you're headed to your local comic book store, these are great comics, and both of those anthologies were just stellar.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I agree. And I added some things to my list of must-reads from that blog post too. So check it out. Get some recommendations.
See, the blog's a happy place. It's not scary there at all.
No.
And next up is, who is Wonder Woman's father? The queen of the Amazon's name is Hippolyta. Within the island's Greek temples, Wonder Woman was sculpted from clay. Hippolyta, her mother, then breathed life into Diana and her twin. They were powerful and blessed by the Greek gods with powers unique to them. But was that clay sculpted alone? Does Wonder Woman have a father? Let's wrap a lasso around the many truths of this unique DC Comics mystery at side.show/father figure. Could have sang that one too, didn't. You're welcome.
Been a very musical week so far.
It has been. So many song titles in the short links.
Love it.
For these stories and more, you can go to sideshow.com/blog. Not blog, blog. Blog.
Blog.
Happier.
Blog.
Blog.
Like, say with like an aw, not a blog.
Oh.
Well, thank you for that, Missy.
You're
Hope you guys
welcome.
find some fun stuff to read. You can listen to your pop culture in the headlines, and you can read your pop culture on the blog. Now, Robin, the moment we've all been waiting for. What's going on this week in streaming?
This week in streaming. Well, we have some things hitting Amazon Prime, Netflix, and Hulu. So buckle up, babies, because we are being attacked by aliens. It seems like this summer, alien invasions are taking over the world. So
They're all on summer vacation, so they got to do something.
Got to do something. Tomorrow World hits Amazon Prime July 2nd. And 30 years in the future, humanity is losing a war against a hostile alien species. In a last-ditch effort, people from 2021 are drafted to participate in the future battles. It's like, we're going to go back and steal people to come fight with us. This has an amazing cast of Chris Pratt, Yvonne Strahovski, J.K. Simmons, and Betty Gilpin. The action sci-fi film releases on Amazon Prime again July 2nd. So we got something for sci-fi, watchers. If you're looking for a good alien flick, this should be the one. I've seen some of the trailers, and it looks intriguing. So I think I'm going to put this on my watch list.
I was surprised the first time I found out this was just an Amazon. I mean, not just an Amazon, but was going to debut on Amazon, because it looked like a big budget summer blockbuster that you'd expect in theaters. Like, oh, it's Amazon Prime.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Right. Good for Amazon. Now, coming up the same day on Netflix, because apparently Netflix is punching back at Amazon, we have Fear Street Part 1, 1994. The upcoming trilogy based on R.L. Stine books of the same name begins with Fear Street Part 1, 1994. The first installment will follow a group of teens as they take on a supernatural force that has been terrorizing their town for centuries. So, again, lots of terror.
These
Lots
books
of
were my junior high self jam. I think I bought every single Fear Street book that came out from like my time in 6th to 8th grade, and just had this huge chunk on my shelf of just Fear Street. I'm very excited about this.
It's cool.
Good.
It's cool that they're doing it as a trilogy too, because they're going to release one a week for the next 3 weeks.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, and they seem to be going back in time. You can see on that poster that what part 2 is 1978 and part 3 is 1666.
Oh.
And
Well done.
Alex Cutler in the chat said they found some Fear Street books at a thrift store the other day. So way to go, Alex.
Yeah,
That's
nice score.
awesome.
They were
Score.
small. They were like an hour and a half reads. So it was like, I need another one.
I love the tagline on this too. 3 movies, 3 weeks, 1 killer story. Solid, very solid.
Well done.
Well, that's Fear Street. Again, Netflix, July 2nd. Coming to Netflix on the 1st is Dynasty Warriors, and that's based on the popular video game series, and it's set in the turbulent late Eastern Han Dynasty. Ambitious Dong Zhuo controls the court and the commonality, and heroes from all over the country begin to rise. So that should be an interesting movie as well.
Yeah, get your over-the-top action fix with that one if it's based on that game.
Well, there's been some pretty great movies based on games lately, so
Hey, look at that.
I'm gonna take the chance. So moving over to TV shows, this is an odd one. It's just funny. It's funny. The Mighty Ones season 2 on Hulu, July 1st. The DreamWorks series returns for its 2nd season, following the adventures of a small group consisting of a pebble, a strawberry, a twig, and a leaf, who call themselves the Mighty Ones. The Mighty Ones live in a very unkept backyard. And they deal with the humans who own the property as they try to live big lives in a small yard. So just the phrase, a very unkept backyard.
It's a jungle out there.
It's a jungle out there because they're only like a little ones. But I just thought it was funny because as I was reading this, I was like, okay, season 2. I'm seeing the description of the group. Would the strawberry have made it fresh-wise to season 2? You know,
Depends on how long their adventures take.
Mhm.
Just saying, looking at that picture there, it looks like the strawberry has several things kind of stuck to it. So I think they are.
I think are there straws coming out of the strawberry?
Yeah, he's got like like a nail and some.
It's like, what does that backyard look like?
He's really not doing well. And the Pebble has like moss for hair.
Yeah. It must have been a rough first season.
This looks like that game that kind of got popular over the last year. There was a game called Grounded, and it was basically Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in the backyard kind of deal. And you had to make like little tiny it was like a survival game in the backyard, and like everything was super tall.
That's amazing.
That's so cute.
I'm just waiting for the accessory characters to show up, like the pile of dog poo and everything else you have in the backyard.
Whoa. Spoilers for season 2.
But this one is going to go on my watch list because I just think it's funny. So we'll put it on there. But I have to say, talking about what we were watching, I did watch The Ice Road with Liam Neeson. So, and if anybody is interested in all the insane things that you can do with a semi-tractor trailer, they got creative. Yeah. It's like, how many times can you run over a guy with a tractor trailer?
Zamboni on hard mode.
But the story was but the stunts and the interesting things that they did were pretty creative. So it's still a good watch. I would give it 2 thumbs up. So
There you go.
And what are you guys watching?
I'm watching, I almost got through Fringe, and now I've had the urge to just start the X-Files because now I'm like, now I just want the original.
Mm-hmm.
But I watched a very odd horror movie called After Midnight this weekend that, not to spoil anything too major for anyone, but one of the final scenes is a karaoke Lisa Loeb Stay, and they do the whole song. Not just a verse, not 2 verses, the whole song.
Wow.
That is
Yeah, I watched
okay.
it. I watched
Nice.
that movie.
That is a movie you watched.
Yes.
It was something that happened.
I watched Adventures in Babysitting per last week's recommendation, and Disney Plus had both versions. Of course, I watched the original.
Mhm.
They edited out a few key swears, changed the impact of some of the lines, so nobody fools with the babysitter. But my favorite was when they meet Dawson, when they meet Thor. They changed the thing that the kids called him to weirdo, so he reacts disproportionately to, my brother says that you're a weirdo, and the guy's like, you're spreading rumors about me, kid. And I was like, that was definitely a different, very 80s word. But I loved it, and watching it, there's something about 80s movies. I love the physical, like, film quality. Like, I just love that era, the music and everything. But I was like, this is so very 80s in the, like, the kids take a ride from the hook-handed truck towman, and he goes to shoot out the windows of his cheating wife and lover. Like, it's just, I was like, this is very 80s, but I enjoyed it a lot. And that little child who was very obsessed with Thor is definitely. I was like, that's what I wish my bedroom had looked like. It was very cute. I loved it.
I've been watching Kevin Can F Himself, and it is brilliant.
I don't have AMC, so that one I've been wondering about how that one's going.
It's completely not what I thought it was going to be. The way that they're shooting it, it's partial sitcom and then partial real world, and then I had to actually go and like read about it a little bit, and it's like, so we've had all of these sitcoms throughout the years where you have these completely interesting husband characters with wives that seem a little bit maybe too good for them. And what happens when the cameras aren't on? And it's like in her head and out of her head. And it's
a little bit of WandaVision.
It almost that kind of a feel, but it's like, here's this like bright and poppy thing, and there's a laugh track, and then here's real life, and the whole tone like mutes, and it gets a lot darker, and it's excellent so far. 3 episodes in.
That's awesome. I'd watch for, obviously Annie Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure
it's wonderful.
Than her Schitt's Creek role.
Mm-hmm. Completely different. There is no Alexis anywhere in this show.
There's no, ew, Kevin.
No. And there's no a little bit Alexis.
That was really good.
Rails.
All right. Well,
and I just wanted to let you guys know that I got on Liam Neeson kick because that was the Netflix algorithm.
So
they were recommending him. So now I have to follow it through.
His whole filmography will be streamed right to you.
You might also like everything Liam Neeson's ever done. Steve Nara says, I started the Mysterious Benedict Society on Disney Plus, and it was cute and quirky. I saw a lot of ads for that this weekend because I saw Kristen Schaal and Tony Hale are in it, but I had no idea what it was about.
My kids were like, yeah, we're watching this, and the sets were amazing, and it's quirky dialogue, and I was trying to figure out what's going on because of course I came in halfway through, but it looks like it's going to be pretty good.
All right.
Check that out.
And we had a couple of people that what did we have? Rock and Roll High School from Single Songwriter.
Very 80s, but we do get to see the Ramones acting. Nice.
Worth it.
Price of admission.
Awesome. Well, we strongly recommend, watching these things that are going to be live streaming on Hulu and Netflix and Amazon Prime. So you guys, you got some assignments over the weekend. Please watch these. Right. Come back next Tuesday. We're going to expect, some chatting about these things and what you liked and what you didn't like about them. So
as the month draws to a close and we launch valiantly into the next, and we've got new comic books dropping, we've got all the new shows, we'll have a new newsletter short link, which just Rob, like you got another day to think about it, but, I'm not going to say no pressure, but
there's
pressure.
There is pressure.
Why, man?
Poor guy.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been New at Sideshow Live. If you liked what you saw, we're here every 9 a.m., different rotating cast of characters. And of course, there's always new news, new shows. There's gaming segments. There's all different stuff going on every day of the week. So it is worth it to check back in on all of Sideshow's official channels at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Just a reminder, we do have an Unsealed and Revealed featuring the Harley Quinn 6-scale figure by Sideshow at 10 a.m. Pacific on Sideshow's channel. So you guys can just stay here, stay on the page, refresh in about 20 minutes, get a snack, do your thing, stay here for that. The other show today. Be sure to check out those giveaways we mentioned earlier in the show, especially because that brilliant newsletter giveaway is drawing to a close tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific.
Brilliant meaning Thor, right?
Brilliant meaning Thor. Yeah, I mean, if
to be specific, the Thor giveaway. So if you haven't entered into that giveaway, go get in.
All those giveaways that we mentioned, even the art prints, limited time. You guys can also check out the deal of the day, all that good stuff. It pays to tune in to our show. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully we'll see you again at this show or at Unsealed and Revealed. And as always, don't forget to let your geek side show. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.